And away we go. I think. We have Jeff here. Jeff is always here. I like that. And Lisa. Lisa. Lisa, what time is it? Oh my goodness. Let me look at my watch. Wow. Prepared for. Hey, what's going on, my friend? Let's get this populated. Malachi's Corner. Good evening. I have the same kind of stove you have, by the way. I was watching your video earlier. We have that same Frigidaire stove. Little bit different, but same burners, same everything like that. So I have to make sure Gail sees that. Because we're one of those people who just piles everything on the stove. All right. Hey, Steve. Hey, Mountain Man. How are you, my friend? Yes, we're all showing up. I'm at the cabin. Teresa. We're all saying hi and doing them likes. Okay. Hey, Red Brewster, what's going on, my friend? Susie Cats. So I had, speaking of Susie Cats, I had a Walmart delivery this morning at home before I came out here, and I was talking to the driver, and I thought, you know what, that did not sound like a bad idea. I think I'll go online and do the little Spark thing and see if I can maybe deliver groceries part-time. You set your own hours and everything. I put in my zip code and what city. It had me going all over Pittsburgh and St. Clairsville. I was like, nah, that's not good enough for me. But it's so fine to have Lisa in here this early. I'm loving it. What happened to the cab job? You know what? That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, but then it got to be like not my favorite job after all. And the weather started getting bad, and late night. I don't like to drive around at night. I don't like the weather, so I'll come up with something else. Hey, Arkansas Prepper, how are you, bud? I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. I'm going to do a video. I got a book for Christmas that is one of the best Christmas presents I believe I've ever gotten. Let me sneak out. I'm going to shake the camera around a little bit, jump up. I forgot to grab it. I wanted to show it off, but I'm going to grab it real fast. I'll be right back. Oh, Teresa, bad cold. I'm still fighting whole sinus. I get dizzy, and I think Gail had to come and get me uh, last Sunday. I think I went by the hospital. It's vertigo. They gave me some pills for it, but I think I'm having inner ear problems. I got to go see an ENT, I guess. Uh, I'll be just sitting here, and all of a sudden, I'm just dizzy. I'm hating it. But let me show you, to start off this live stream, a Christmas present I got from Alex that is like one of the coolest things I've ever gotten. And I recommend it to all you people who want to be homesteaders and off-gridders. Look at this. Let's see if I can get it up there. See if you can see it. There you go. Oops. The Encyclopedia of Country Living. Right? This thing is fantastic. And if you look, it is a very large book. 3-ring binder. And it covers absolutely everything to do with homesteading, living off the land. It's called the Original Manual for Living Off the Land and Doing It Yourself. Live sustainably, raise chickens, make herbal remedies, plan your garden, build a barn, mill your own flour, make soap, forage, preserve fruits and vegetables, deliver a baby, learn beekeeping, tap maple trees, make sausage, milk a cow or goat. It teaches you animal husbandry, canning, preserving. It's a fantastic book. A candle, kitchen towels, backpacking towels. That's awesome. Let's see. My husband bought me a new holster for my... Oh, nice. The crystals in your move into... Yep, that's what I was reading, Susie. Causing sudden vertigo. I get it sometimes and do something called the Epley maneuver, and it's instant relief. Hey, Jeff, what's going on, my friend? Yeah, I know, it's coming, isn't it? Gary's coming out in the morning. I want to try to get some framing done in the bedrooms. Christmas was great. Yesterday we had our quarter-inch of ice, lost electricity for about 5 hours. I'd run generator, and it hasn't melted yet. Wow. I know it was just north of us, Steve. Today, I mean, at 3 o'clock this morning, it was about 46 degrees. And it's down to 39 now, but tomorrow it's supposed to be 61 and rain. And I think Monday it's supposed to be near 60, and then Tuesday the bottom drops out. Then we're, at 36. But yeah, I did a video for this pots and pans that I got from this company to do a review on. I love those things, right? Gail confiscated them. They now belong in the house. I didn't get to bring them out to the cabin. So she bought me a couple of new skillets for the cabin out here. I've been sleeping off a cold that's been trying to jump on me. Yeah, for 2 weeks I've been fighting this cold. But yeah, I was reading about the crystals in the ear. I'm gonna have to look up the Epley maneuver. The dizzy spells don't last very long. I move my head around a little bit and they go away. And it happened about a year ago, and they gave me this prescription called meclizine, and it's just basically for motion sickness. It's 26 right now. It's supposed to hit 20 tonight, Eastern Oregon. You know what? For Oregon, it's really not too bad. But I guess there's a serious cold front moving through that's going to get us. I can't stand on my head. That's not going to happen, I can assure you. Been 40 to 70 here on the coast. I know that's what it's been like here. I can't get over it. It's been nice, but a lot of rain and a lot of gray. It's not like sunny skies or anything. Yeah, it's a shame what's happening in Florida, California. But that happens everywhere now. But it's going to be windy tomorrow. I'm glad we got the roof partially fixed. Uh, I got to get a couple more of those roof panels and get up there. $2.89 for cheap gas. You know, speaking of gas, I wanted to mention this. Last Saturday, Lisa, what the heck? Oh my gosh. Holy crap. There's a toilet. Oh my goodness. Lisa, that is too much. I swear. Wow. Thank you so much. Wow. I'm overwhelmed. Yep. Yeah, after YouTube gets their share, the toilet, I mean, that'll leave about $159, $169. That's what the toilet was that I want to get. So I will have that out here next weekend. Thank you so much for that. Wow. Anyway, okay, let me, Jesus. Let me get back to the gas thing. Last Saturday, I drove out here, and gas had dropped to $2.31 at several gas stations. $2.31. Sunday or Monday, they went up to $2.99. From $2.31 to $2.99, right before the Christmas rush traveling. And today, coming out there, we're back down to $2.69, I think. It's crazy. Wow, Lisa, that's just way too nice, I swear. Oh, Malachi's Corner, thank you so much. Yeah, that's going in the Dr. Pepper Fund. I love that. Thank you, Kim. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have a bathroom before I leave here tonight. But I went by Lowe's. I'll tell you a good thing I noticed at Lowe's today. I ordered 30 more 2x4s because Gary's coming out tomorrow. We're going to do a bunch of framing and everything. And I got the military discount on lumber at Lowe's. I didn't see an announcement, but I checked the wiring I need to run the 240 back to the utility room. 50 feet of it's like $187. But I noticed when I put that in my cart, I got the military discount on that as well. And Lisa, thank you so much. It's unbelievable. That really, you'll see next week, I'll have a toilet sitting there in the house, trust me. But yeah, it's, I forgot what I was going to say. Lowe's, I guess they caught a bunch of crap by taking away the military discount on lumber and electric, and evidently it's back now. But I'm just overwhelmed, I swear. That's just awesome. The gas distributors always fiddle with prices around the house. Yes, they do, actually. They really do. That's unbelievable. Oh, man. So what else is happening? Teresa, did Lowe's give you the non-employee discount? No. Yeah, they gave me the military discount. I don't know why they didn't hire me. I'm just not sure. like I said in the video, it's the first time I have ever gone on an interview and not got offered a job. Only time that's ever happened. And I don't know if it's because, I'm 68 years old and uh, I told him maybe maybe I know too much because it seems like a lot of people I run into Lowe's there, they don't know very much. So, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not, uh, uh, I'm not desperately seeking a job. If I could find something part time again, the cab was good. I ran the course on that and it was pretty cool. Um, it was getting kind of old. So, who knows? Wow. Be a Walmart greeter, maybe. I don't know. I might want to look into that. I have no idea. I wonder why your dog's doing that, Kim. Hmm, that's pretty bizarre. Cheapest price around my area. Zone for Spark. 68, and if you don't want to work at their will, it would be hard for them to hire you. I told him, it's just part-time work is all it is. It was just, you're not going to get, I told him I would be happy with about 24 hours a week. And he said that's the way it would be, you know. Now, I did say I prefer weekends off so I could be out here, but, if I had to work weekends, then I could have other days off out here. I didn't want to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Maybe that's part of it. I have no idea. Don't know, threw up last night. So, throwing up too. I would be concerned too. And peeing in the house. Uh, I hope it's not anything from the bite that he got out at Ed's place. I hope something like that is not happening. Hey, 1 second after. Oh yeah. They don't have to hire me, just send me a check. My husband tried to get a job at Home Depot. Same deal. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an age thing. You know. You heard him. Mail America's hiring. That is totally out of the question there, Ernie. They will never ever hire me. Yeah, I tried to tell him I didn't want a real job, I just, I was just looking for something to do. Yeah, I know. It's like I can't get into it on the live stream, but I ain't exactly welcome at Mail America anymore. That is too bad. But that's the way it goes. Uh, Speaking of Lowe's, I went by this morning and picked up I had bought 30 2x4s. And when I went in to pick them up, uh, I told them, I said, I only need 20. I bought 30 because the quality of your wood is I know at least a third of what I buy is going in the fire pit. So I need 20 2x4s. I had to buy 30 just hoping I get 20 good ones. Maybe that's why they decide not to hire me, because I don't. One of the things that happens when you reach 68 is you care a lot less about what you tell people. At Home Depot, it is an age thing. I worked there a few years ago. Unless you're a retired contractor that's looking for the pro desk, nobody was over 50-ish. I believe that, you know. Put on those vests, load up your truck, and just like, there you go. our dogs, our daughter's dog started acting like that last week. She took him to the vet and found out he had ear infections. That's interesting. I have to keep. I never had heard that, but that's really interesting. I guess if they have something, any kind of a medical condition, it's going to make them act abnormal. He's old, so probably just age. Mine never really, had changes like that. But I can understand an ear infection or something like that is going to throw them off. Uh, but I'll have to remember that. Now, hey, Russell, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you can hear. Welcome, my friends. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. See what happens when you get old? Maybe that's why they didn't hire me. Holy cow. Wow. Beach Bum, hello from Pittsburgh. Welcome, Pittsburgh. We're both sick, so we missed out on getting down to the cabin. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We were going to go to, we were going to go down to Gary's in Alabama, and we had originally planned it. Well, it turned out it was going to be colder down there than it was up here and a lot of rain, so we kind of blew that off. So we had planned on going this weekend. We talked about it. Leaving Saturday morning and coming back, leaving this morning and coming back Monday, just to spend a day down there or two. And Gary forgot that his doctor had moved his schedule up, that scheduled appointment, to Monday. So that blew that off, and we were thinking about other days. I said, well, I'm waiting to hear from my doctor because they had to reschedule my chest scan. So as you get older, it's all doctor crap and medical crap that you have to work around. Where I work, all the part-time drivers have been told 4 days a week or retire. Wow. Go Packers. How about Uber? I was looking into that. I mean, part of the problem with that is, again, I gave up the cab job because I don't like driving, number one, at night, and number two, in the snow and the ice and the crazy people out there. Now, I'll tell you something funny that I did today. Uh, I left to come out here. I was on 470. Speed limit's 65. I'll do, 68 to 70 miles an hour. I don't speed ridiculously, right? There was a semi truck that was just flying through 470 and got onto 70, headed westbound, just like me, right? And he would get caught behind some cars, but he was cutting off cars, flying. I was up to, when it changed to 70 miles an hour on 70, I set my cruise control around 73 or 74. He flew past me and was running off the road, and could not stay in his lane, and he was a very dangerous trucker, right? So I'm gonna tell you how bad it got. This is what I did. I'm almost embarrassed for it, but at the same time I'm not, right? I'm not going to say what company it was. It's not a well-known company, but I caught the because he would swing over and he'd get caught behind something slower, then this lane would get a little bit past him until he could cut somebody off and get over. And anyway, I called that company while I was driving out here and told them, I was on I-70 westbound, mile marker 186, and this truck was so erratic. He was speeding. Could not stay in his lane. They needed to contact him and get him off the road. If they could not do it, I would shoot out one of his trailer tires and make him stop and get him off the road. Because that's how bad he was, and no state troopers anywhere around. If we would come upon a state trooper, then everybody would slow down and he would slow down, So I made that phone call and I told that dispatcher that. I don't know who the guy is, but this is where we are. And about 30 seconds later, 45 seconds after I hung up with that dispatcher, that dude was going about 65 miles an hour, and everybody was passing him up, and he was running straight as he can. He never did that again, until after I got off the freeway anyway. But they were just crazy. There was no point in that. Yeah, I understand. Well, I've got a son that drives a truck. I drove a truck for a little while. I mean, I understand how that works, but at some point, you're a danger on the road. That's the way I look at it. And when you can't stay in your lane, and when you've got other truckers blowing their horn at the guy because he's cutting them off, you got to get him off the road somehow. I have to look into that, Susie. Uber Eats, you could just pick up a grocery orders from Walmart. You can opt out of giving rides. Huh. Well, I tried to Spark, and I guess they didn't have anything around my store. Uh, that's all I can figure. Did you? I had heard something about that. Driving in Columbus is like driving in the Indy 500. Teresa, Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania's like that too. Do you see where they're building a road in Florida that will charge your car while you drive? Yeah, I saw something about that. It's going to be interesting. Okay. I agree, Joe, but unfortunately, a lot can't speak it. Yeah, that's become a major problem. About it's probably 8 or 10 years ago, you heard a lot about the shortage of truck drivers, and a big push for recruiters to find truck drivers. The Prime was a prime example. And then all of a sudden, you didn't hear about the big shortage of drivers anymore. But what are you hearing about? All the illegal aliens who got CDLs from New York and California and stuff. Suddenly, there's no shortage of drivers. That's who they hired. So I would rather have a shortage of drivers than these guys who are illegals and can't even read or speak English driving on the roads. They could go to Minneapolis and open up a daycare center, as far as I'm concerned, but get off the road. Yeah, they're Ernie. Yeah, if they charge by the mile, they're definitely going to charge you. Here's my question on electric cars: when the power went out in California, did the electric cars stop? They weren't plugged in. Yes, and not only that, but they just stopped wherever they were because they couldn't see traffic lights. There was nothing, you know. It's really weird how those were the autonomous cars. Now the electric cars, I don't know, but the ones that they put out that don't have drivers, all those cars just came to a stop. Hey Frank, what's going on, my friend? All right. Have to drive your own vehicle for Uber. Have your insurance coverage. Yeah, I have all that. I don't have the vehicle to take riders though, because I just have a pickup truck. I would have to do the Uber Eats thing or Spark, but Spark wasn't hiring. Autonomous and electric just stopped. Absolutely. That's why I don't like electric vehicles. I'm happy with my gas-powered internal combustion engine. They have daycare centers. Yeah, I know. I saw that whole story. Or not story, but I've seen the mainstream media is not reporting on it yet, but it's coming. Those Somalis have ripped off billions and billions of dollars, and it's not just in Minnesota. It's just as bad in Columbus, Ohio. It's a huge Somali population there, and they're discovering the same kind of thing. All these grocery stores, right? They're basically fake grocery stores, and all the Somalis who are getting SNAP benefits and EBT cards, they take them into these stores, they just swipe them and take all the money off of them. Just swipe the card, and that store gets all of that money. They're not selling anything. They're just scamming the money. Beach bums, windmills froze over, so much for going. Exactly. I have enough experience with solar to know solar is not the way to go yet. Yeah, and you know, it's not, the Somalis are the ones who uh, are, they did it, but you know, there's plenty of corrupt politicians and officials in line that I guarantee you were getting paybacks for allowing the Somalis to do this. So it goes in Minnesota, goes all the way up the walls. As far as I'm concerned, that's where it goes. Malachi's Corner. My brain can't figure out that happened for one, and two, why buy a vehicle where you're having to pay a subscription to use? Oh yeah, that's a new thing too. I saw that with the Toyotas and the Hondas. If you want the remote start, you have to pay for subscription. If you want the thing to tell you when to change the oil, you got to pay a subscription fee. If you want it to tell you when a tire is low, all the things that the cars had. I mean, Gail had a Hyundai. Her Hyundai that she had, the Tucson, it had electric start, but you had to download the app and pay a monthly fee to use the remote start on the Hyundai. And that was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Yeah, Red Rooster, aerial cars are definitely coming. I saw that. I saw a bunch of those. Well, yes, exactly. That's what they did with cable TV. Here's what it is. It goes back to, you heard about Agenda 21 and Agenda 30 with the UN and everything. But I forget who said it. You will own nothing and you will be happy, right? The whole streaming thing is a perfect example of this, right? We have to stream our music. We have to stream we don't own it anymore, right? We still pay for it, but we're just renting it. We don't get to keep it. So that was like the test. I think that's what streaming services were. And the Pandoras and the Sirius and everything, where you have to pay a fee to rent something. You don't own it anymore. Klaus Schwab. Yep, exactly right. So yeah, I mean they're working it to where we don't own anything. You know, they're going to make it impossible to own land at some point. You know the I saw a thing in New York. I believe it was New York City. If you own commercial property and you want to sell it, you come up with a price that you want to sell your commercial property. You have to offer it to nonprofits first. They have 30 days to decide if they want to buy it or not. So you can't put it on the market yet. They've got 30 days to decide whether or not they want it. If they decide they don't want it, then you have to offer it to the government at your asking price. The government has 90 days to decide if they want to buy it. If they decide not to buy it, then you're allowed to list it. Once you list it, after you get an offer, then you have to go back to the nonprofits and see if any of them wanted to match that offer you got. And if they don't, you have to go to the government, see if the government wants to match that price for that property before you're allowed to sell it. So now closing, if you want to sell your property and somebody wants to buy it, closing could take up to a year before that could even happen. And they're just sneaking that kind of stuff in all over the place. Yeah, same with video games. You're right, you don't own them. Yeah, we still have AM. I listen to FM radio coming out here, I do. My used car came with Sirius radio. I was shocked it works and wonder if I will get a bill. You won't get a bill, but they let ours run for a while and then they cut it off and said, okay, this is what it's going to cost you. Now we have Sirius in Gail's car. Um, I like it. I don't mind paying for it, but they want $30 a month for the package we have. What we do, Gail was paying on some kind of special. She got it for a year for five something a month. Well, at the end of the year, she got notice that it was going up to $29.99 a month for whatever her package was. Right? So she called and said, nope, we're done. It's over with. When my subscription runs out, it's done with. The next day, they sent her an email saying she could get another year for $3.99 a month. And she said, okay, I'll take that then. Mountain Man, I keep getting notices from land company to buy my 20. Yes, they're trying to buy up everything they can. I like the silver prices going up, man. 80 bucks an ounce. I'm like, really? I got a bunch of silver, that I bought when it was, some of that I got, I bought when it was, the spot price was $8 an ounce, $10 an ounce. And I got a bunch of silver coins that are now outrageous. It's very tempting to sell that. But they're saying in 2026, silver will hit 100 bucks, you know? Yeah, Nick's got a bunch of student loan money, and it's like, okay, if they're going to start pushing for that shit in January, like they said, he won't be getting an income tax check. I'm telling you, folks, I hate for beach bums. Silver will come back. I know it will, but when? That's one of those things you got to figure out. Okay, do I want to take the $80 and run, or do I want to wait till it hits 100 and run? You know, or you wake up one day and it's back down to $20. It's a gamble. Yeah, I can't get rich off of it, but I can buy a shower and a vanity and some stuff for the house, but that's about it. But yeah, that's because it's the fake. It's all fake shit, as far as I'm concerned. You know, now suddenly there's not enough silver. You know, the whole solar panel thing is like that's past. People realize how expensive it is to go solar. So there's not that huge demand for the green, but that's one of the things that they're blaming the shortage of silver on is solar panels. I don't believe that for a second. It's all a lie. Oh yeah, hit the like button if you would, please. Yeah, I mean, I'm not selling it right now. I think if it hits 100, I'm gonna give serious consideration to it. Remember what happened to the Hunt brothers from New York? Exactly, exactly. You know, I talked about this in another live stream. This debt, we're $38 trillion in debt. Who do we owe this debt to? We owe it to the banks. So that's what happens. We print more money. The banks then loan the government money. They buy bonds and they buy treasuries. Well, when it comes time to collect those treasuries, the government prints more money to pay those bonds and pay those treasuries. Well, then they got to sell more bonds and more treasuries to the banks. China owns, a few billion of it. Other countries own a couple billion of it. But mostly it's the banking industry who's getting rich. Any video of Joe's, I see, I do support. Well, thank you, Ernie. I appreciate that. Yeah, they tried to corner the market on silver, and it did not work for them. The government should own nothing and be happy. Exactly. Exactly correct. And I'm going to tell you what, by the way, a lot of my friends, a lot of my subscribers are Trump supporters and Trump people. And I don't uh, mind that or anything. But I'm going to tell you something I 100% disagree with that Trump did. I will never, ever like this, right? The John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts should be the Kennedy Center forever. That was built as a memorial to John F. Kennedy. It is not the Donald J. Trump and John F. Kennedy Memorial Center. I think that's disgusting that he put his name on that, on the Kennedy Center. That was a memoriam to Kennedy, not Trump. So I got that out of my system. I'm done with that. Yes, Susie Katz. We know what the remedy is. 500 ounces of silver in each tomahawk missile. Yep, if I could steal some tomahawks, I would. just to get the silver out of them. Yeah, I think I can't get over that he did that. When I saw the picture of that going up, I was really pissed off. All right, what else is going on that I don't want to complain about anymore? you know, uh, I'm trying to get work done in the cabin. It's like, or in the house. I got, Gary. We're going to meet for breakfast. The breakfast club is back on. We're going to meet for breakfast. We're going to do some framing in the uh, house. Finish up the frame so then I can run the electric and put in the insulation and drywall. That's the plan on the house. And see if I can find a job. One thing you'll never accuse Trump of is not having ego. That's a fact. He's got the biggest ego there is. The Constitution was written to protect our rights, especially the Bill of Rights. Yes, it was, but the Constitution was also written to tell the federal government what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. It's not the federal government telling us what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. They, over the last 250 years, they have swapped that around, is what has happened. I found a new game online. Stupid but fun. That's my kind of game. But yeah, I don't think, I used to think, I see you finally changed the name for your tube website. Yeah, we talked to a few people. I don't know if it did any good or not. I don't know what's happened, but uh, our my YouTube channel has totally sunk. It's down to nothing. It's weird how that works, and maybe changing the name of the channel will take time to work itself in or something. But I like I said, I have fun with this. Zombie miner. I'm gonna have to look at that. Mountain Man, our government has gone rogue. Absolutely, they have. And I don't see a way to stop it. I only let it crash. I think it's coming. I think somebody is going to do something that is going to, you know, the straw that broke the camel's back. Something's going to happen, and we're finally going to wake up and do something about it. I hope that is happening soon. I don't know if anybody else does or not, but as 2025 is coming to an end, I am really, I get this sense of urgency going into 2026. Like something is going to happen. Something's going to get lit off, and it's going to become out of control then. You know, Trump now has another meeting with Zelensky Monday. They're going to meet, I think, in Mar-a-Lago, right? Because all this peace brokering he's doing around the world that is not doing anything, in my opinion. He gets to get on the news and say, look what I did. I negotiated peace here. Next week, it's all back to the way it used to be, right? If you want to stop the war in Russia and Ukraine, get out of it. Just leave it. Let them settle it. If instead of, in my opinion, instead of giving Ukraine arms so that we can fight the Russians through Ukraine, take over Ukraine. That becomes our country. The mineral interests there that we're trying to get a piece of before anybody else, invade Ukraine, take the goddamn country over, and then tell Russia to get the hell out of it. Right? Don't just keep laundering money through the place. It's no different than when Biden was president. That's the sad thing. We all talked about how it was going to change when Trump became president. Right? Because Biden just kept funneling money through Ukraine. Well, that's what we're still doing today. You know? So stop the money, go over there, take over the country, and say, okay, this is now part of the United States. Russia, get out of it or we fight you. That's how you stop it. One second after, what's up? The stock market's going to crash? Yes, it is. Yes, the stock market's coming down. That's another thing. It's a big joke. Yeah, we're going to attack Venezuela. I don't know why. I mean, he finally went to, geez, I can't even think now. I got mad. Every time I think about what's going on in this world that happened, I get so mad and I get so flustered and so frustrated because we can't do anything to stop it. But where they're killing all the Christians. At least they struck ISIS down there, finally. Should have done that 3 years ago. Two wings of the same bird, Joe. Can't change the insanity. Just prepped as best we can. That's exactly right. That's that sense of urgency. I got to get things going out here. We have got to get moved out here. This year, the garden. You know, this year, in fact, I'm buying a canner so I can start canning stuff and learn how to do that and get ready for when I have my garden. You know, if you're not a prepper, you have to become a prepper now because it's all going to implode. The United States of America is going to implode upon itself. Nigeria, yes, thank you. That's what I just go crazy sometimes. I think it'll crash. I think the real estate market is going to crash. The automotive industry, it's going to be, you know, you take 2008 and quadruple it. And it won't come close to what I believe 2026 is going to be. All of the smoke and mirrors are starting to clear now. We're starting to see what's really going on, and if we wake up and pay attention to it, we'll see it. Yeah, all American pressure cookers are the best, but I can't afford that. I got to start little and work my way up as I learn. Well, someone put grass in my mailbox. Yeah. Wow, wonder why. Yeah, me too, 1 second after. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm really getting anxious to get set up and moved out here, is so I can get that house sold in Wheeling before it becomes too late. Susie Cass, more and more people are opening their eyes to how our government screws us all over. How the haves bought them out and we're all screwed, which something big happens. Yeah, it's we're in bad shape, folks. We really are. Nigeria receives significant foreign aid, primarily from the U.S., totaling over 700 or 800, 900 million annually. Everybody gets aid from the United States. We can't afford to pay the interest on the debt that we owe, but we still send out hundreds of billions of dollars to all the countries in the world. It's not logical that that happens. That's what I wish people would wake up and see this. How can we be $38 trillion in debt and still annually send out all of these hundreds of billions of dollars all over the world? It's crashing, it's coming down. Yes, it's all money laundering. It's coming. It really is, folks. The Great Awakening is going to happen, but it's going to be too late. They will have their will then. 1 second after, when I sell my house, I don't trust putting the money in the bank because I think the banks might be crashing. I could buy some silver things. Yeah, I don't trust the banks. I do not, my Social Security checks, I told Gail, we've got to get to where we are hoarding cash. Leave enough in there to pay what bills we have to pay through the bank, but then keep cash. You know, it's just the way we have to do it. Digital currency, central bank is coming. It really is. It's on its way, and I'll tell you, by 2028, we're going to be a cashless society. Then you're going to be in trouble. You know? Once we go with the central bank digital currency, that's the end of it. Hey, Teddy, what's going on, my friend? I'm already cashless. Hey, Bill, what's up, my friend? Yes, I understand that one too. We're pretty cashless as well. But yeah, it's got to go that way. Bill, hey Gary, what's up? By land, by sea. There you go, Gary. That's it entirely. That's what I've been saying all along. My most important prep are seas. Plain and simple. 80 degrees and get out of here. Hey, somebody kick Teddy out of this damn lounge. uh, 2026 will be a doozy. It sure enough will. It sure enough will. By the way, Bill, I put up a video today uh, showing how I dry can, basically. But I keep food out here, beans and rice and, dry goods. I vacuum seal them in the mason jars. And I had to stop by Walmart to buy a case of ball jars because I forgot to bring any from home. So I mentioned in the video, I checked with Ed to make sure I was allowed to buy that case of jars because I know he buys up every case he can see. But I wanted to make sure I didn't get in trouble for buying that. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, folks, but I'm telling you, we got to get ready because it is not going to be easy. We're going to go through some times that never thought we'd ever have to go through. And I want to start experiencing some of these lower costs that the Trump administration keeps touting that they're lowering. I haven't seen them yet. Every week it just costs more and more and more. They're absolutely killing us. Yes, it is Malachi's Corner. Yeah, you got to watch that video too. I mean, it's a cute little trick there how to keep this stuff, the mice out of it and the critters out of it, and keep it kind of fresh. Stay at home and let my clone do all the work. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not too bad for the land taxes right now. I mean, uh, Susie Cats, 2 bags of groceries. Yeah, $75. Yeah, beach bum it is. I mean, I paid $2.59 today for gas, and that was up because of the holidays. Out here, it was around $2.31 a gallon last week before Christmas. But yeah, prices are not going to come down. And what they're going to use now, they're busting all these just to get ready for this, right? They're getting rid of all the illegal aliens that are CDL holders and driving these trucks. I will guarantee you in 3 months, the trucking industry is going to be crying again. Oh, we're a shortage of drivers. We don't have any drivers. So the cost of transportation is going to go way up. So the cost of all the goods that you buy are going to have to go way up because now we don't have any drivers to haul the material around. You wait and see, it's coming. Raymond, what's up? $2.21 a gallon in South Carolina. I'm moving. I paid $2.39 at Sam's Club today. Kroger's back up to $2.89. Cambridge is still around. CA is still around $6 a gallon. Wow. Joe doesn't have it all figured out. I wish I did. Yeah, Michigan's got a big tax increase coming on their gas, like 20%. I dehydrate, grind into powder, pressure can, water back in. Got it. That's where I'm headed. I'm telling you, Gary, since you're in here, I got to show this book again. The best Christmas present I think I could have gotten. Right? Alex got me this book, The Encyclopedia of Country Living, the 50th anniversary edition. Right? This thing is an incredible amount of information on everything. I mean, you can see how big the book is. It's a 3-ring binder, and it covers everything. Unbelievable. This is a book to get. You know, I've always said I got all these books for when the grid goes down and there's no Google, you can't Google anything. You got to know. This teaches you everything you need to know about living off the land, living in the country, and doing it yourself. Alex got it, I think, at the bookstore here. Got it for me for Christmas. That book is amazing. It is everything. Covers everything. You know, teach you how to deliver a baby, how to make sausage, how to make herbal remedies, spin wool, beekeeping, animal husbandry, raise chickens. I mean, just build a barn. Everything is, it's a big book. Unbelievable. Best book I've ever seen. Okay, you're probably prepared for about 12 hours I give you for survival. Yeah, what the hell is Trump doing with our weed laws? It took so long to get legal. Is he changing some shit up about it? I don't know what's going on. So that Social Security increase you get in January, along with a $20 bill, will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Can you still get one? I don't think I got much of a raise on Social Security because my Medicare is now up over $200 a month, and my Advantage plan went up over $50 a month. I mean, where's the raise? When did Ed write a book? I mean, I'm really anxious to see, because now they're touting you're going to have the biggest tax return you've ever had in your life. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for a second. You know? Just like the $2,000 you were going to get, just like the $5,000 you were going to get. It's all lies and distractions is what it is. Malachi's Corner. I told one of the group members if I wasn't there, no one would survive. I agree with you, Malachi's Corner. I agree with that 100%. I think my Social Security went up $29. Mine went up, I don't know, $48 or $54, something like that. But everything else, you know, went up with it. My dog's money turned into Mirage money. I did believe it until I see it. I don't believe it until Raymond. I understand entirely. Yeah, the raise in Social Security, you can't even go to McDonald's. I like what Teddy said. That and $20 might get you a coffee at Starbucks. I mean, I don't uh, promote myself as a big time prepper or anything, but I have learned so much. And I do have food. I do have, you know, everything. I'm not depending on anybody else to do anything for me. All the books I have, including this one now. Gary got me a great book last year for Christmas on gardening. I mean, it's just awesome. I learned so much from that book. Uh, yeah, I mean, you got to be able to read and learn. I'm waiting for to build it. Yeah, I know. I can't wait for Malachi's Corner to do that. Yeah, we'll have chickens this year. I'm gonna have the garden out there. I'm still trying to get hold of Tim, by the way, Gary. I'm gonna stop by and see him Monday when I leave. I miss having my chickens. Oh crap, it's 9:15. I guess daggone it, I'm gonna have to get off here. Yeah, Malachi, that's funny. I'm telling you, when we had the chickens, I gotta say this before I get off of here. When we had the chickens, we got eggs year round, even during the winter when everybody else complains about, not their eggs, chickens not producing as much. Every morning during the winter, Gail would make a warm breakfast for the chickens and take it out to the chicken coop, right? Oatmeal with bananas in it or scrambled eggs she would make for the chickens and take them out. Every morning they had a warm breakfast. Gail would do that for them. And our dogs, we didn't have to worry about our dogs. I have video of our dogs with our chickens who free ranged in the yard. But our dogs would sit there and watch the chickens eat and wait until the chickens were done eating. And if they left anything, then the dogs would clean up the plate and everything for them. Uh, and the chickens used to chase our dogs around. It was funny to watch them. And we're talking St. Bernards. Yeah. Funny, Ernie. I like that one. That's a good one. When ours quit laying, I threatened to send them to KFC. I let them know what KFC was, and they really wanted those kind of chickens. Well, thank you, Beach Mom. I really appreciate that, man. I have fun doing this. I really do. And Lisa, oh my God, $200 donation. Wow, what a Christmas present. I, I have a toilet now. I can't complain. And thank you, Malachi's Corner, for your donation. Wow, Christmas gifts are awesome. But this book is it's still a great one. I'm going to be doing more videos on this book and the stuff that I learned from it. But go check out my videos I put up yesterday. I put one up today, and I think I put one up a couple days ago, putting a battery in that Honda. I teach people how to test the batteries and test the alternator and stuff with a multimeter. But everybody have a wonderful New Year's, in case I don't get to see you before then. Have a safe New Year's. And let's get prepping in 2026. We got to get prepared early because it's coming down. But thank you, everybody, for hanging out with me, and let's do it again sometime. Happy Dr. Pepper to everybody. I'm out of here, folks. Thank y'all.